Yeah, hi, my name is Jonas, this is Sublime Media, and today I'm going to review two very nice records from Elemental Music. It's Albert Ayler and Roland Kirk. But first, cue music. Now, Elemental Music. My only experience with Elemental Music is actually through the Bill Evans Treasure series. Great series. And also parallelograms with Lina Parhax and Nico's Chelsea Girl. So I'm going to start with this one. This is Albert Ayler's Music is the Healing Force of the Universe. 1969. It was recorded and released that year. And on Impulse Records. So you have to bear in mind that this is when everyone had flowers in their hair, going to Woodstock, the whole hippie era. This is where we were as a Western civilization in 1969, and Ayler goes into the studio and blows out like a magnificent free jazz soul record for Impulse. It's so damn cool to think about it out of that sort of perspective. A little bit about Albert Ayler. He was born in 1934, I think, and died in 1970 during from very mysterious circumstances. It's still a mystery today, and there are a lot of theories. If you want to know more about Albert Ayler's life, and it's a very fascinating and tragic life. There's a book that came out just a couple of years ago, I think, about Albert Ayler, and there's also the Swedish documentary directed by the same guy who did I called him Morgan, but this came way many years before about Albert Ayler. Great one also. So if you want to dive into a little bit more deeper territories about Albert Ayler, I recommend those two. But yeah, so he was just like 34 years old when he died. Imagine what he would be if he could continue to spread his jazz word, we can only imagine. So, music-wise for Impulse, he had recorded a couple of records before this, and I actually don't have an original press, so I can't compare this to anything else. There's a reissue that came out in 1974, but other than that, we have never had a vinyl reissue until now from Elemental Music, which is kind of cool. When it comes to the musicians, I have to say that I have many records with Albert Ayler and CD box sets and books, and I've seen documentary many times. So I'm a huge Albert Ayler fanatic. But I don't know anyone else on this record. I can't really say anything about the other musicians, except for Mary Maria, which is on vocals on this one. And that was, at this time period, Albert Ayler's girlfriend. I don't think they were married. And she, if I understood correctly, she wrote most of the material for this record. So she's on all the songs, or all the tunes except two, I think. So the music, I mean, this got a lot of bad rep throughout the years. I don't know how it was when this was released, but I can't imagine that they hailed this as the best sort of Albert Ayler record ever put out there. And I have to say, it's not my favorite Albert Ayler record either. Maybe my least favorite one in his catalog. But with that being said, the bar is set pretty high when it comes to Albert Ayler's music, and I mean, it's still better than 98% of everything else that was putting out in the jazz category from this time period. It's more soulful, and the vocals definitely add something, good or bad. You be the judge of that. When it comes to Albert Ayler's playing, I feel like if you compare this to his early days with the trio setting, they were more of sort of a solo power force driving. I mean, Albert Ayler was driving the bus, trying to sound as powerful as he could. A very large expression through his instrument. Whilst on this one, I feel like he is taking both 2 or 3 steps back, being more a part of the collective. And even if he goes forward, putting out solos and stuff like that, it's more of a group statement than anything else, in my opinion. And again, good or bad, you be the judge of that. I feel like this is a wonderful piece of music from this time period, and super important also when it comes to Albert Ayler's catalog. This is the last session that he did before he died. So this is not the last record, because they took other stuff from this session and put out another record, I think, after his death. But this is the last session that he was involved with. So yeah, highly recommended. When it comes to the packaging and Elemental Music's sort of contribution to this, you have the great sort of orange and black impulse spine, a good sturdy jacket with great photos, very lush colors. Have nothing to really complain about. When it comes to that, we have insert with other releases from Elemental Music. They replicate the original label and put Elemental in a small logo, which I think is super cool. I mean, there's no doubt that this is an Elemental Music product, but it still pays tribute to the original sort of source. So sound quality. This is not an audiophile pressing by any means. From last time I did a review for them, I reached out, asked them what the source was, and they said that they license it and get the material from the label. In this case, I believe it's like digital files. So it's definitely not an audiophile sort of AAA release, not by any means. But with that being said, there is enough for everyone on this one, because we haven't had the chance to own this on vinyl since 1974, and there is enough detail and separation from all the instruments. Sure, it doesn't feel like you are sitting in on the session. It definitely feels like you are listening to a recording, but it's still a very, very good quality. It's dead flat, silent, and 180 gram vinyl. It sounds great. So nothing really to complain about when it comes to that. So moving on to Rip, Rig and Panic. This is the Roland Kirk Quartet featuring Elvin Jones. And this was recorded for Limelight in 1965. And 2 seconds about Roland Kirk. He was born in 1935. I think, and died in 1977, so only 42 years old. He didn't have a good start in life. He got blind when he was 2 years old from wrongful medication or something like that, I think. But he's definitely one of those big names in jazz, or the free realms of jazz. I actually feel like he is one name that I don't hear that often in at least the vinyl community here on YouTube. He's not a part of the conversation, which I feel is a pretty sad, actually, because I feel like he is definitely a name and a saxophonist to count on. I have always felt like he is something, the blend between Coltrane and Anthony Braxton. But anyway, so yeah, died when he was 42 years old, just 1 year older than I am now. it's insane. Of his second stroke. Yeah, and again, I can only imagine what he would keep on doing if he could. I mean, 42 years old, it's not an age. He had so many years left to bring us awesome music. Roland Kirk, I think, is most known for his ability to play several instruments at the same time due to his mastering of circular breathing. I think that he plays the saxophone and uses his nose to play the flute at the same time. No one has bested him after that, and I don't think before that either. So Rip, Rig and Panic. When it comes to the musicians on here, you have Elvin Jones, Jackie Bayard, Richard Davis, and obviously Kirk. Jackie Bayard, I think, played with Mingus, but also Dolphy, which Richard Davis did also. He played bass on Out for Lunch, if I remember correctly, the Blue Note record. And Elvin Jones we all know about from Coltrane. Played with many years with John Coltrane. And the music, almost all the songs are penned by Kirk. I think one song isn't, but it's definitely a Kirk record. And I read some reviews about this, and my own opinion when it comes to the music is that I feel a little bit like he is paying a tribute to his influences, because the first song is called No Tonic Press, and it's obviously for Lester Young Press. And from Bechet, Bias and Fats, the third song, I feel is sort of a homage to his idols. But I can't really just not think about the sort of the R.I.P., the rest in peace sort of, maybe just a play of words, but paying his respect. Also, maybe it's a little bit about mortality, but I won't dive too deep into that. Maybe it's a philosophical thing more than a musical thing. To note here about the music, last thing I'll talk about when it comes to the music, is that this was recorded in January 1965. Bear in mind that Elvin Jones recorded A Love Supreme with John Coltrane in December 1964. So if I'm doing my math correctly here, he's sitting in just 1 month after banging out A Love Supreme. And this, I have to say, this is one of my favorite jazz records. I have a reissue to compare this. I never got an original press, but I played this to death. I feel like this is such a solid record through and through. And I have to say that Elvin Jones is doing some of the best work that he has ever done on any record, including A Love Supreme, even if that is one hell of a recording and iconic. So, I mean, this is just a month afterwards. Just for that, it's worth checking out if you're a jazz fanatic. Spoiler alert, this is a reissue from 2000s, which I will sell now because this sounds so much better. So yeah, that's a little bit about the music. Let's talk about the packaging. Again, it's a good, solid gatefold sleeve. Nothing to really talk about there. Lush photos, great colorful pictures, everything that you would like. This also comes with a sheet of other things that Elemental Music put out. They do a replica of the original label, which I love, and puts the Elemental there too, which I'm super okay with, obviously. But this, in contrast to the Albert Ayler release, actually has a 4-page booklet with notes, liner notes, and some information about the recording, which I think is awesome. This, I mean, it's a cost kind of thing, and you have to really put something out there that contributes to something. Otherwise, you can just let it go. But this is so damn welcome. Really feels like you are getting something else with the package. Sound quality, just as Albert Ayler. This is obviously a digital copy. It's not like sitting in the sessions. It's like listening to a recording. But with that being said, I have played my reissue to death and enjoyed it the hell out of it, and this sounds better. So you have enough details, you have enough, sound stage and everything that you need and want, without needing really to look for anything else but this release. If you're not an OG hunter, then you have to get the OG, obviously. But as a reissue, this is I can't imagine this not being the best sounding one of the bunch. So, yeah, not an audiophile release, but with this price point, like this is the ordinary price for ordinary record in 2024, and it's not a 90 or 120 or 170 one-step thingy, it's just darn good music on good sounding wax. So yeah, I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed the records, so please send me more records. Anyone who watches this, send me records. No, only kidding. No, I'm not. And if you like this, give this the thumbs up. Please comment, because I love the comments, so we can have a discussion going. And also, if you haven't subscribed, and if you like this, what I'm doing here, I mean, subscribe. It's the best way to that, and comment is the best way to show appreciation for the channel. Then I talk to you in my next video. A great day, everyone.